Howdy fishing fam. A lot of people avoid using the Carolina rig because not only is it complex and time consuming to tie, it's also pretty expensive. Today I'm going to show you how to tie the Carolina rig using only one knot and at less than half the cost of a pre-made rig. But before we get started, I want to ask you guys one question. How often do you currently use the Carolina rig? And if it was cheaper and easier to use, would you consider using it more? Let me know in the comments below. First, I'm going to show you everything you need to tie the Carolina rig. Second, I'm going to show you how to do the one knot method. And then lastly, at the end of the video, we're going to cover how much everything costs and how much one of these rigs costs and how much a pre-made rig costs. Now let's go ahead and get started with the top of the rig, and that is going to be the weight. I like to use these egg sinkers, most specifically 1/2 ounce egg sinkers. It provides a good balance of fall rate and good contact with the bottom. So I'm not waiting forever for my Carolina rig to hit the bottom. And also it's not providing so much weight on the bottom that I really can't feel bites. So that's why I use 1/2 ounce weights. Next, you may or may not need, depending on the Carolina rig you want to make, is a bead. You don't have to have one of these, but it does provide a little extra noise on the bottom when the weight clacks against it. Next in line is the key to this whole Carolina rig, and I'm going to grab both of these here, and right now they're just going to look like little chunks of plastic to you guys, but these are the Carolina keepers. This is what makes the one knot method work here. Maybe I'll give you guys a little better view here, maybe a little picture in there as well. All it is a hardened piece of plastic with a slit cut through it that you need a pair of pliers here to open it up. You just need to smash on it a little bit, opens it up just enough so line can get through, and then it closes back up very, very tightly on your line. So in a way, it's a little bit like a peg, but much stronger. And lastly, but not least by any means, you're going to need some kind of hook. My favorite hook is Gamakatsu 4/0 hooks. You can use 3 to 5/0 hooks, and that range is usually pretty typical for a Carolina rig. Also, this is an EWG hook. Use whichever hook you feel most comfortable with. I like EWG hooks because they are super easy to text pose, and since this guy's going to be floating off of the bottom, I don't really have to worry about it dragging or getting caught up in the stuff too much. Now, as promised, I'm going to show you how to tie the Carolina rig using the one knot method. First, we're going to put our 1/2 ounce egg weight on here. You can use other weights if you'd like, but this is my favorite kind of weight. It doesn't get hung up all that much, so it does do that for me. Next, if you're going to use a bead, this is the time you would want to put your bead on. In my case, I'm not going to be using a bead. I'm going to be using the red keeper here. It's made out of hard plastic, so it's going to provide some sound. And simply the way you put these keepers on is you need a pair of pliers. So I'm going to put this thing in the pair of pliers and grasp it real quick and get it lined up. You're going to want the slit inside of here perpendicular with the pliers. So you're pressing down, it's going to open up this slit and allow the line to go through. So I'm going to press on it. Hopefully you guys can see the line there, the little slit. I don't know how well you guys can pick that up. If not, I'll show you a quick clip of it right here. And you simply just thread your line through it. Now in this case, I'm using 20-pound fluorocarbon. It's probably best to use monofilament if you want the floating effect. And I'm just going to put this out of my way because I can move that keeper pretty easily. All I need is a pair of pliers, slide it on down, and it's out of the way. So now all I need to do, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. This is what we're dealing with here. Just a little egg weight and my little Carolina keeper. You see how it's bouncing off of it? It is not sliding at all. So we are in good shape there. Now, lastly, we're just going to tie on our hook. This is a 4/0 Yamagatsu EWG hook. And just use your favorite knot. I like the San Diego jam knot. Go ahead and tie this guy on. I'm going to put my finger there. I mentioned earlier that I'm using 20-pound fluorocarbon. You can use anything really down to 10 or 12. Just note that you may break off a few more of these Carolina rigs. And I would suggest using lighter weight if you're in cleaner water. So right now, my Carolina rig is, I don't know, almost 4 foot long. I really don't need it that long. I need it closer to 18 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it just like I did earlier. I'm going to grab it with my pliers, the slit perpendicular to the jaws, squeeze it down, and then I'm going to pull the line through until I get the length that I want. And let's see, that's roughly 18 inches. So I have 18 inches here, and let me slide my weight on down here. She's way out of the way now. And there we go. There's the Carolina rig. Simple, easy, effective, and it's extremely cheap. Since we're talking about cheap, let's go ahead and break down the cost of all these pieces. Before moving on to how much a Carolina rig costs, I want to ask you guys to subscribe and join the fishing fam. I like to make content that is clear, simple, and easy to follow and understand. And if that's what you like, here's the channel for you. Now let's go ahead and start covering how much a Carolina rig costs. I have my notes here, so forgive me for reviewing them. So let's start off with the Carolina Keeper here. It is $2.79 for an 8-pack. For simplicity's sake, I rounded it up to $3, and that makes these 38 cents a piece. The weights here come in a 12-pack. They are $4.50, also making them 38 cents a piece. The beads here, they come in a 250 pack for $12.50, making them 5 cents a piece. And the most expensive part of this rig is the hooks. The Gamakatsu hooks that I like to use cost about $1 a piece, making this total rig to get all together cost $1.81. Now you can go ahead in the store and buy these pre-made rigs where you still have to tie 1, 2, 3 knots and purchase another hook. And this guy cost $11 for a 3-pack, and that makes each one of these without the hook cost $3.67. So with the hook, we're looking at $4.67 versus $1.81 with the 1-knot method. So I'm saving you over half your money per Carolina rig, so you can buy almost 2.5 Carolina rigs, well, what you would purchase one of these for. So with all that savings, I hope you guys will like this video. Give this video a like because I'm saving you a bunch of money here. If you enjoyed this video, you would also enjoy how I like to catch fish in the summertime using a drop shot, or maybe you're thinking about your next big fishing trip and you want to know how to prep for it. Check that video out as well. But until next time, see you later, fishing fam.